Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Here we share beginner-friendly tutorial on Minecraft, Roblox, web programming and many more. Today we are going to take a look at part 2 of our Roblox game called Get the Easter Egg. So in part 1 of this tutorial, we learned how to design the game environment of the game, which is a jungle, and then we created our spawn locations and our Easter egg. So in this project, I'll be using the Code Kingdom platform to make 3 code files. One code file would be for the platforms to change colors and also to explode randomly when they turn into red. The second code file would be for the player to time how long the player is alive, and also the last code would be for the egg to indicate that the game is over when the player touches the Easter egg. So let's get started. For the second part of the tutorial, I'm going to the Code Kingdom platform. So the first thing I need to do before I code is to make sure that my studio is online. So how to do this is that I'll just open up Roblox Studio where I have my game open up, and I'm going to click on plugins, and I'm going to click on unlink editor option. Next, I'm going to head back to my editor. So then it will pop up a message asking for connection request from your Roblox Studio. So I'm going to click on yes. And then I'm going to click on link. All right, so now it is online. Now we can start coding. In the first part of the tutorial, I made a file called platform. So this would be the first code file which I'll make to my platforms, the green color pads, to make them to turn their colors randomly. So first thing is I'm going to click on make a method. So I'm going to click on add method and click on create. Alright, so next from the code library, I'm going to drag a while loop. So I'm going to drag a while loop, and then I'm going to change the condition of this while loop to be true. So what happens is that, so when they are being created, it's going to check if the color of the platform is red or green. So I'm going to drag in a wait block and change the time to be 1 second so that the colors keep on changing every 1 second. Next, I'm going to drag in an if-then statement and change the condition to be left equals right. Alright, so the condition is to check the colors. So I'm going to make my condition to make that if the platform is red color, it's going to create an explosion. So I'm going to make my left side to be self color. So I'm going to build a block. So self color, then click on place, and then I'm going to choose the red color. So I'm going to click on the right slot and go down under types, and then you'll see an option called color 3. So I'm going to click on that and choose red color. Next, to make the platforms to be explosive, I'm going to drag in the code block called create, and then I'm going to change it to be explosion so that the platforms explode when they turn into red color. Now, once they turn into red color, after they explode, they have to turn back to the green color so that it keeps on repeating the color change between red and green. So next I'm going to, under the if statement, I'm going to drag in an object equals update block and place it under the explosion code block. And then what I'm going to do next is on the code library, I'm going to find the color block, and I'm going to drag in and place it inside the object, and the update would be turn back into green color. So when you're choosing the green color, choose a green color that is similar to the green color that you have used in the Roblox Studio for your platforms. So mine was kind of similar to a lime green color, so I just choose lime green. Alright, next I'm going to drag an else block outside the if statement, but it should be above the wait block. So I'm going to drag the wait block down here. Alright, and then I'm going to place my get an else block and then place it above my wait block like that. So inside the else block, I'm going to drag in an object equals update block. Right. So in this block, I'm going to give a random type so that the platforms change colors in a random number. So sometimes you may have 3 green platforms that are turning into red platforms. Sometimes you may have only 1 red platform. Sometimes you may have 5 red platforms at once that is going to be explosive. So I'm going to give my range of the number of platforms that is going to turn into red color to be between 1 to 5. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a variable to keep on calculating the number of platforms that is going to be changing. So I'm going to click on object and I'm going to write random number. All right. And then on the update slot, I'm going to drag in math.random. So the minimum number of platforms that it should be changing is 1, and the maximum number of platforms that should be changing into red color should be 5. So next I need to make sure that if the random number or if the number that I have chosen is 5, then I'm going to change my platforms to be red color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag in an if then block, and I'm going to change the test to be left equals right. So on the left side, it's going to be random number, and on the right side, it should be number 5. Next, what I'm going to do is I need to change the platform's color to red. So again, I'm going to drag in an object equals update block, and I'm going to choose color, and it's going to be red color. All right, so now we have finished the code for the platform. So let's take a look at how to make the code file for the player. So to create a new code file, I'm going to click on plus sign, and I'm going to give the file name as player and choose the option to be player, and it's going to be added as a local behavior. Alright, so this code file is going to time how long the player is alive during the game. So I'm going to click on Add Method and choose On Join option. Next, I'm going to drag an if object equals update block, place it down here. So on the object side, I'm going to create a field named as type. So I'm going to type field, change it to be a field, and click on number. And then on the update, I'm going to click on 0. So next, I'm going to drag in a while loop and then change the test condition to be true. So while it is true, I'm going to wait for 1 second. Alright, so now I'm going to make another method to run my timer. So I'm going to scroll down and click on Add Method again. And this time I'm going to make a custom function called timer. So the timer would run only if the player is alive. So we had to make an if statement to check whether the player is alive or not. So I'm going to drag an if then block, place it down under the timer method, and I'm going to click on test, and down here you'll have a variable called self.alive. So I'm going to click on that. Alright, so till the player is alive, I'll have to keep on counting. So what I have to count is I need to add 1 by 1. So for every second that is under the field. I need to rename this as time, sorry. Right, so and I'll just drag an equals block, object equals update block. So I'm going to click on object and click on self.time. So the self.time should be keep on updating every second by an increment of 1. So I'm going to click on update, click on left plus right. So on the left, it would be self.time, and on the right, I'm going to add my increment, which is number 1. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a stat code block, so which is going to display my timer on the game scene. So I'm going to write set stat, put it underneath self time equals self time dot self time plus 1. So here it's going to be, I'm going to write as time taken, which is going to be displayed on this game screen, and the value that it should be updating would be the self time field. So I'm going to click on valid and I'm going to click on self.time. All right, so I need to run this function timer when I join my game. So what I have to do is I need to go up to the onJoin function, and I'm going to call the timer method inside this function. So on the code library, you can find the timer code block. So I'm going to drag this block and place it underneath my wait 1 second. All right, so we have finished the code for the player. Next, we have to code the egg. So I'm going to click on plus sign again, and I'm going to create a new file called egg, and it's an object with a local behavior. So I'm going to click on that option and click add. So in this code, we will code the egg to send a message to stop the timer when the player touches the egg. So I'm going to click on a method called Untitled. So I'm going to send a broadcast message. So I'm going to find a broadcast message from the code library. Place it down like that. So I'm going to send a long message. So I'm going to click on text and I'm going to click on left right. So on the left slot, I'm going to choose string and I'm going to write you have made it the time taken colon and a space. So it should display this current value that is inside the field time. So I'm going to click on write and I'm going to click on build a block. So I'm going to click on player dot time. So and I'm going to click on place. So now the time slot on the right corner would be how long are you going to display this message. So I need to make sure that this message is being broadcasted for 5 seconds in the game screen when the player touches the egg. So I'm going to click on time and enter number 5. Alright, now we have finished the coding for the platforms, the player and the egg. Alright, so now once we have coded the files, the respective files, we need to make sure that the scripts are being transferred to their respective parts in the game. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to head back to my Roblox Studio with the game open. Right, so I'm going down the workspace and I'm going to click on replicated storage and I'm going to click on code kingdoms and I'm going to click on front check. Alright, so I have my 3 scripts here. So I'm going to transfer the platform script to the models or the parts in my game up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the platform and click on copy and then go up in my workspace and I'm going to highlight all the platforms that I have in my workspace. So I'm going to hold my shift key and select all the platforms like that so that it's being selected, and I'm going to right click it again and select the option called paste into selected. So right now you can see that all the platforms have the script called platform. Alright, so the next script that I need to transfer is my player. So since we don't have a player model up here, we have to transfer the script to the player's starter pack. So what we're going to do is I'm going to click on copy this again, and down in your workspace you have to find the folder called starter player, and then I'm going to click on starter player scripts and I'm going to paste my player script, and the last script that I need to transfer is my egg. So I'm going to copy my code file for the egg and go up in my workspace and find where my egg part is, and then I'm going to select that and click on paste into. So right now I have transferred all my scripts, the 3 scripts, platform, player, and then the egg. So that's why it's really important to rename your part so that you can easily identify your parts when you're transferring your scripts. Right, so we have completed transferring our scripts onto the respective parts on our game. So let's head to the Roblox Studio and up corner and click on play so we can try out our game. As you can see, the timer is running and then some of these platforms are turning red and you can see that light explosion on the top. So we have to be careful in order to not to go towards the platform. And I can see my egg right now. Right, so you can see that a message is being broadcasted and it's going to show my time. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this project. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like our videos. Also check out these two videos while you're waiting for the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.